Your Q usage is super important. Sometimes you want to hit them with a splash, sometimes you want to throw the Q through them and hit them with the arc. Depending on where you are standing, it could be pretty hard to dodge this, especially for melee characters. Maybe they tried to dodge the splash, but I'm hitting them with the arc. As with any skill shot, you want to time it as the opponent goes up to the last hit. When you are walking up to Q, if your opponent clicks anywhere besides back, you will be able to get in range. Diana has very high base movement speed, so you can chase people to land Qs pretty easily. Here, I click straight towards Azir. He clicks to the side and allows me to catch up to him. He should have clicked straight back. The start of Diana's Q animation kinda looks like her auto attack, so throw Qs as you are last hitting minions. You need to know how to wave clear with any champ. If a wave is coming in, walk to the side of it. The minions will chase you slightly, and it's perfect to hit every minion in the wave with Q. Again, walk to Diana's left side, your curve hits everything, W in the middle of the wave, then use your passive on as much as you can. Perfect. Sometimes you can walk past the wave to pull them together, then use your Q and W right there. Now, if I don't do this and let the wave crash, the minions might act crazy and ruin our wave clear. Remember, left side, W in the middle, proc your passive. Wave management is a hard one to cover without going off the deep end, but here against Seraphine, we couldn't do much about her pushing the wave level 1 and getting level 2 first, but she took a lot of damage from my Q and minion damage from auto attacking me, so she's kinda chunked out. When we get level 2, the wave is pretty good for us, so we're definitely going to be able to take good trades with this much room. Seraphine should be pretty scared. She wants to crash this wave, and we want to hold it to take these great trades. Now that I have a good HP advantage, I can chill, last hit, and slow push the wave into her. It's hard for her to walk up and try to thin the wave. She's pretty screwed. If she lets me slow push the wave, I'll have a ton of time to do anything I want, but she missteps, walks up and dies. Having plenty of room to trade like this is pretty great since your trades are so strong on Diana with all your cooldowns up. You have your bone plating, phase brush, electrocute, shield bash, whatever. Your trades are pretty strong. So after you take a good trade, you've likely started pushing the wave. Just chill and last hit. Let the wave build up. You'll have a wave or two under the opponent's tower. At that point, you can do whatever you need. Recall, dive, roam, anything. Be careful how you use your Q and your passive because it will push the wave pretty quickly. I find that I usually recall level 4 or 5. Here, I was going to recall after this wave because the next wave is a cannon wave. If I don't recall here, I would have to wait 3 more waves for the next cannon. That's not going to happen. I'm lucky that my jungler came here. Otherwise, I would have missed a wave and Yon would have gotten a better recall than me. In that case, it wouldn't have been the best recall, but I'm low health, low mana, I have to recall. With a Doran 3 and level 5, your Q will almost kill the range creeps in 2 Qs. It will leave them at 2 HP, pretty sad. If you recall and buy anything, now your Q will kill the backline, no problem in 2 Qs. Just remember that. 3 points in Q, which is level 5, you need to buy some AP or have some eyeball hunter stacks, or maybe you have absolute focus. Anything works. When going for trades, you want to get your passive off. So, auto a minion a couple times, then you can go in and do your trade. You don't even need to land Q at first all the time. Your opponent wants to try to dodge your Q, so when you just jump in, it might throw them off. You can get in a good trade, then throw your Q afterwards. Your EW auto is really fast and does a pretty chunk of damage. Vladimir has W here and dies anyway. You can also do this with R. Just EW, R, chunk them out, and yeah, it's harder for them to dodge Diana's Q from melee range obviously. You don't get an E reset, but that's fine. EWR, chunk them out, then you can push in the wave and go for a dive. Here Yon trades into me pretty aggressively. I QW, get my third auto off, then back off. Here the wave is on my side. I go for a quick EW auto, proc electrocute, and then I back off. I don't even bother throwing Q because he has a shield. Usually you get W level 2, but if you see a good trade with E, just go for it. And like kiting a camp, you can kite a melee champion. After you E, Diana will auto attack. You click backwards, then your opponent needs to input an auto attack right away. If they're slow on it, they're going to have to chase you a little bit, and they're not going to get that auto attack off. That's when you Q them, or turn around and hit them with another attack, then back off. After you E, you want to get into the habit of clicking away instantly. Assuming that's what you even want to do in that trade, right? You can also kite forward like this. When you Q a minion, your opponent might walk up too close, leading to a free ult. So I Q, the minion has the moonlight on it, he walks up, I E the minion for the reset, ult, then finish him off with a second E. Also, if they're further away, maybe you're getting a gank or something, you can just E to a minion, then gap close onto them like this. Diana's coming in, I dash to a minion with the moonlight, that lets me gap close to him, then I ult, and we kill him. Your ult range is surprisingly big, bigger than you might think. You can catch people like this all the time. It surprises me sometimes how big Diana's ult is, so it will definitely surprise my opponent. This is so easy, especially in lower ranks. You just Q the wave, back up, they're gonna walk up, they think they're safe, you just dash to a minion, ult, and it's a free kill. Resetting your E with Q is pretty basic. You know, you Q them, they have the moonlight, you press E, takes off the moonlight, you're good to go. But when there are minions, you need to make sure the Q hits before your E, because if your E kills the minion, your Q will never hit anything, meaning it will not reset. In this clip, the E hits the minion first, then the Q lands and hits nothing. So there's no reset and I don't get the kill. Your W lasts 5 seconds the first time you throw it out. If you pop the balls 5 seconds later, that's another 5 seconds that you have a shield. So this is quite a long time to have a shield. Sadly, the cooldown starts after the 3 balls are popped, so if you have it out like this, it takes a while for W to come back off a cooldown. Your E will either place you in front or behind the opponent, depending on how far away you are from them. I dropped 2 wards here to show you how far away you can stand. If you are in front of the closer ward or on it, you will be behind the dummy. If you are further than that, you will be placed in front of them. Further away lands in front, closer lands behind. Makes sense, right? With this, you know where you are going to land. I get ganked, I see that I'm right next to the volley bear. If I W-E auto attack him, I will be placed behind him with my phase rush procced and be able to escape easily. Again, trundle ganks, I walk away from him. That way, when I E, I'm placed behind him, closer to my tower. Here, we're fighting a Twisted Fate, chasing him down the lane. And I'm going to QE him, but I don't do my second E because I know if I E him again, I'm going to be under the tower. Maybe he pulls a gold card or something, and I'm stunned at the tower, and we don't want that. So I walk away, I use my E to land in front of him, then I get my auto ignite off, and he dies. No tower shenanigans necessary. Same thing here, I do my combo, they walk back forward, re-engage, but this time Jarvan pops up, so I just walk away. Keep track of your current phase rush count. I Q, and I know if I then EW, I'll zoom out of here. Here I missed my Q, so I still need 3 hits. Auto, W, E, zoom. A lot of things count towards 3 hits for phase rush. Rocket Bell counts, Sunfire counts, both red and blue smite counts. You don't even need to auto attack with red smite. If you have smite and one of these mythics, that's an easy 2 stacks. Very easy to use phase rush. You don't want to just blow everything at the start. So in this fight, I walk up and I see Thresh. Where's his ADC? His ADC is Twitch and is probably invisible behind him. I'm gonna save my burst for him. Once I kill Twitch, I have another question. Do I dash to the Thresh or do I just walk up to him? My Q is coming up pretty soon, so I just choose to walk up. He ends up dying anyways, and that means I can end up QEing this Vi. E has a really big cooldown, so if you can reset it, you want to try to do it. Then here, I'm stuck in Victor's W. If I don't E or flash, then I'm going to be stuck. I choose to dash out, but I'm still able to pick up the kill by kiting forward and using my flash. In this clip, I'm looking for a big R. I see Jin and Morgana right next to each other, Wukong behind them, and Silas is about to go in with Nocturne R, but I don't use my abilities on Silas. I wait for everyone in the backline to come in, then I jump on them. Big R, right? They're dead now, go over here. It's pretty easy to miss your Q from this distance, so I just walk up, and once in melee range, I throw my Q over the wall, because I know if he flashes, it's gonna hit. If he doesn't, it's going to hit. In later stages of the game, you can split push and take towers very quickly, but you're still a teamfight assassin with a teamfight ult. You need to be able to identify when fights are going to happen, around what objectives, and be very aware of that. How much engaged does your team have? How much engaged does the enemy team have? Has your team been running it down for 10 minutes and they're gonna fight mid? Maybe you shove one wave and go mid. Maybe you don't shove any waves and just hover mid. Just depends game by game. If you enjoyed this video, check out these 20 Diana tips and tricks. Diana can do some pretty cool stuff. You won't regret clicking on this video. Thanks for watching.